These simple website tweaks will dramatically improve the conversion rate on your Shopify store. And knowing what they are has allowed brands like Mertra to sell out clothing drops every single time. So in this video, I'm going to show you the common mistakes that are causing your website to suck, why big brand websites work so much better, and how to apply these changes for yourself. And to help me in this video is my friend Casper, who also happens to be the co-founder of Mertra. After exiting to help other brand owners scale, their following has since grown to nearly 500,000 Instagram followers. So it's safe they know a thing or two about creating a clothing brand. But before we show you what a winning website looks like, we're going to show you the mistakes you're probably making. So Casper, when you look at a website like this, what is one of the most obvious mistakes that sticks out to you immediately?
First of all, I actually really love this product. Like, I reckon there's like a lot of potential here, and it's something I definitely see myself wearing. But in terms of just simple tweaks of optimization to just help the brand, and I think this would just help it so much. But first of all, there's only one image. So first of all, I would just say categorizing it as like photos. So they're just simply not being enough. We've got one model photo, which is great. We can kind of see how it fits and how it looks, but there's no product photos. There's no, close-ups of the product detailing. I want to see, this W and the O. I want to see what that looks like, the texture from it, basically, like what that pattern is. And it even looks like it's got a custom detailed zip. So like, showcase this. You're going to the level of care to, refine this when it comes to the product development, but show the world and let us know what you've been working so hard on.
Absolutely. And it's clear that so much effort has gone into make this product as good as it looks. The problem is, if the website is not there on par with the quality of the product, people just won't share their credit card details because of the lack of trust. And I think it does come down to simple practical things, starting with not enough product images.
And I think a really good kind of way to think about the importance of your website is, if you were to, I know this is a US brand, so like specifically like Melrose in LA, one of the biggest shopping fronts in the world. If you were lucky enough to do a pop-up shop there or have a flagship store there, how would you want your customer experience to be? And what I mean by that is, like, your website is essentially your physical dream store, and customers need to have a positive experience. That it shouldn't be everywhere, and basically there needs to be help in the buying journey. So my second point is, there's like not reducing the friction of, I guess, like the buyer's journey.
What do you mean by too much friction?
What I mean by that is, we'll have a look, and there's 3 different sentences here which talk about the model. We've got the model is 5'8", wearing a size small. This jacket is designed for a relaxed fit. That's exactly what you need to have. But then next we've got female model is 5'6", wearing a small, but there's no image of a female model. And then there's also a second one, which is the model standing at 5'6" is wearing a size small. So now I'm thinking, is this model 5'6" or is he 5'8"?
We have no idea.
Yeah, so the sizing of it is there, I guess, under too much friction. There's multiple touch points of that. So 2A is model, like this model sizing, essentially. And then from there as well, there is also no size chart for you to be able to base it off, maybe other garments you have, or to measure yourself.
Especially when you're buying online and not in store. Size chart is everything, because you cannot try the product on.
You don't have the ability to see what it looks like on you, right?
Yeah.
Probably number 3 that jumps to mind is just the lack of social proof. With that, obviously, with this like product specifically, if we're looking at their website, there's no reviews. So have they sold any? That's where my brain goes, right?
And if they haven't, what does that mean of the brand? Are they scamming me? Because
Is it drop shipping?
Is it drop shipping? Because I've seen this on a Meta ad. I've seen this pop up in the Reels tab. I have no idea who these people are.
Yeah.
Social proof is everything. By the way, do you ever think growing a community for your clothing brand is hard? Well, we made it simple. Casper and I teamed up to create the Superfan Club, an online community helping clothing brands build a cult following. This is a space where you can make friends with other brand owners, ask for help, and get feedback. In fact, both Casper and I interact daily with our members. And as one last crazy bonus, we've added a free list of 99 content ideas for clothing brands that you'll get access to just by joining. You'd think we charge money for all this, but we haven't got that smart yet, so click the link below to join the Superfan Club club for free today. Now back to the video. The amazing thing about your website is that even minor changes in conversion rate could dramatically increase the revenue for your business. For example, going from a 2 to a 3% checkout conversion rate doesn't sound like much, but that could mean the difference between $100,000 and $150,000 over the course of a year. And so you can create a website that converts. Let's recap Casper's problem points. First, don't use too few photos to show your product. 2, don't be vague in your product descriptions. Be specific, especially when it comes to sizing. And 3, don't forget social proof. Without it, you'll lose any trust. But now we know some of the common mistakes many startup brands make. We're going to show you how a larger brand approaches a product page so you can crush your competition.
Building off, the website we were just looking at, I'm now on a clothing brand called Privacy. They're out of Australia. Ryan, who runs it, he's a Perth boy, absolute weapon, such a good lad. And I think this is probably one of the most well-optimized sites of a brand owner I know.
And instantly it looks and feels different. Even though there's so much more simplicity to the product, I just feel different even relating to this.
Immediately a high quality product image, shows the product in the best light, looks clean. Second, we've got a full scale image with a model, so we can actually see what it looks like on the individual, right?
And if we go into the product descriptions, is there any information about the sizing there?
Product description, so we've got the description, then we've got fit and features. 6 foot, has the weight and the sizing.
And we know exactly who they're talking about as well. There's no question.
Yeah, so it's definitely him, right? And then obviously all the other, garment details. Another product photo, and then we've just got a close up to showcase the quality of the garment. I think one of the really cool, multiple points is you're probably trusting of this brand because for this individual garment, there's 298 reviews already.
Yeah. They've got all of that social proof.
Craziest social proof. It's got just absolutely scrolling through the whole time, 35,000 customers, right? Crazy. So it's going okay, people trust this brand.
Yeah.
There's been so many orders here.
But having made a few videos now, I know the comment you're about to write. It says, Elijah, we don't have 35,000 customers. What do you want us to do? Well, the good news I have for you is that it's not over. In fact, with the right strategies, you'll be able to get enough reviews for your site like the brands I work with, even if you're starting from zero. And here's how. First, you need to physically get some garments, even if they're samples at the very least. Number 2, show your products to friends or family members. Remember in elementary school when you'd bring something from home to show and tell? You're basically doing the same thing just with your clothing products. Get your friend or family member to try it on and ask them what they think. Use this as an opportunity to take photos if you wish as well. And so now you can write a review. Remember, you aren't faking reviews, but since your customers are few at this stage, the process has to be a little more manual than usual. Ask your friend or family member to write a formal review or just record what they say on voice memos and write it on their behalf. And don't worry, you won't have to always do this. As you scale, reviews will come a lot more naturally. But now at least you don't have to launch your website without social proof. But here's the thing, social proof alone isn't enough. Many times your site visitors will see past reviews, but if you haven't got actual images of your products, well, it'll go nowhere. So have a look at how this site from Privacy Clothes takes it even a step further than simple product images and social proof.
So if we click on these circles here, they've actually got embedded videos of the actual garment, how it sits on the body, 360 view, how it moves, how it sits.
Yeah, you're good. And then I just cut this up so little bits get used, some bits won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So even just, I know that's probably not done intentionally, but even him just talking, we'll just cut little bits up. That really humanizes the brand as well.
Makes it so real, strangely. I wasn't even ready for that, but it makes me go, there's someone behind that camera. It's I forgot there was until they started talking.
So yeah, this is a really, really clean site. It's got absolutely everything from the social proof, different types of images, it on body, the size chart, who the model actually is and what they're wearing.
So now we know what a high converting website looks like. We need a way to make this system practical and transferable to any brand with any product. And to make it crystal clear, Casper and I are actually going to write our own website for a brand we're creating to show you how to do it for yourself. But first, let me give you a bit of context about our brand behind this website. We're calling it Our Loft, and the brand identity is about making friends in the real world. To keep things really simple, we'll create a product page with this t-shirt with a simple graphic here on the front and some smaller text on the bottom at the back. Speaking about the design, we've created this illustration of a man at a cafe reading the newspaper and waiting for company. I imagine that the story is that he's saving a seat for a new friend he's met at a coffee shop. You can see how it relates to the brand identity. Now, using this garment, let's take what we learned from Privacy Clo and their website and create our own high converting page. What's the first thing that they do really well?
Well, let's just build on images quickly. So like their product flat lays, make the garment just look super clean and puts the product in the best light, really.
Not to mention, there's actually more of them. So we have one flat lay of the front, we've got a flat lay of the back, we've got on body, and then we've got a close up. And I think that's a really good checklist for anyone.
And I think even further to that, you probably could have more close-ups. This is obviously just a blank garment. Ours is likely to have a graphic on it. So a close-up of the graphic front and back of the logos as well, from like a kind of side on a little bit.
Yeah, and any combination of all these things could really work.
Yeah.
So you could do on body front, on body back, on body close up, on body wide. And look, I wouldn't go overboard, but as many as 8 here, I think would be just fine. Other than this image section, we
potentially video.
Yeah, definitely a video as well. Besides that, we have a title of the product, just as Privacy does. So what could we write for our product title here?
I think we could name it based on what we've kind of created, or give it kind of a t-shirt name similar to the campaign.
I think something really important for the title is to have both descriptive and also meaningful elements in the title. Because of the name of our campaign and the club that we're making, it could be called the Kitchen Club Tea or something like that.
Kitchen Club, or based on, you know, the graphic, it could just be a matter of like seat save tea. Maybe something we can come back to as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
To finalize when it comes time to, you know, putting those final touches on of the site. So we've got this, and then, you know, drawing on the inspiration of privacy. As soon as you can possibly do it, social proof needs to be there, especially when you're starting out. This might only be 1 or 2 reviews, but it's better than none. You really need to showcase, you know, that you are a real brand and that people trust you. You know, make sure that you've got a Shopify app that allows for reviews specifically for your audience.
I reckon we put it as literally the next thing straight after the title. Just as Privacy have done it, there's a reason why they've optimized in that way, and that way no one has any doubt about the social proof. It's there front center. We've got nothing to hide.
It's really important when you're looking at the positioning of it, it's actually just above the price. So people see 200 5-star reviews, and then when it comes to like that maybe is more expensive than they thought, there's that like subconscious nature of going like, but people are still willing to buy it.
Yeah. Then we have the price. I reckon we just make it about $1 million.
Yeah, sounds good. Pretty valuable.
I reckon it's worth, look, as long as we have the reviews to back it up, I think that's quite reasonable price for the product we've got.
Fair.
Product description can go under the product here. Now, if we're watching it, especially on a website.
Can I say it's really nice to have drop-down menus?
I agree. I think that's why, like, a lot of these sites, I mean, if we look at the Privacy one, and if we drop down on the menus, they keep it tucked away so it doesn't fill up the page. And then that's the description. It's more like paragraph-like. And then if we go under, like, fits and features, for example, it's literally just dot points. Next, we've got a very simple 2-line sentence summary of describing exactly what the product is, what it's for, maybe a brief like description of like some of the materials involved.
So we got introducing the highest rated luxury blanket in Australia, constructed from ultra heavyweight 260 GSM, 100% cotton. This tee redefines the meaning of quality, each thread aligned to perfection, promising unrivaled smoothness and shape. So first of all, in the first couple sentences, you know the GSM and the material composition. Also, I love how it outlines the details and even provides the measurement of a 3cm thickness of the collar. It also introduces a description of the type of fit as well. Yeah. And then also the importance of pre-shrinking your garments.
So we got GSM and the material type, the type of fit.
Yeah. I guess like overall garment details, if there was anything that was striking with that, and the ability to know that it was pre-shrunk, and also the care of the garment. Essentially, this garment is considered an easy care garment, resistant resist pilling, wrinkling, and static clean. So just to show that it's gonna feel nice when it's on the body, basically. So that's the first thing. So putting that under your description, essentially, and then next you want to do the fit and features. Obviously, that is re-explaining the GSM and material. I think that's a really good one. And then making sure that the model details are in here. And then it's very clearly also within fit and features as a drop down, you've got a size guide. So you've got a detailed size guide. Within that, you've also got connected with the model reference again, a really good reminder. That's super easy to do it. And also it's telling you how to measure to find your ideal size and which points and key points of measurements you can do. And then it's also going and helping through the journey and going, if you still don't know, send us an email and we'll help you pick the right fit.
It's specifically addressing the mistakes that we outlined before. They're removing any kind of friction and they're answering any questions the customers may have even before they ask them. So for example, it's to say that, well, it's going to be 53 centimeters across the chest and 70 centimeters up and down. Your customer's asking, okay, how do I do that? Well, here's exactly how to measure it. And if you still don't know, send us an email.
We can help you out.
Zero friction, and it means anyone that wants to buy can buy.
Yeah.
The last thing that I think is really underrated on websites, but super important for a very mission or purpose focused brand like ours, is having an about the brand. And this is like a footer that doesn't change. It's the same for every single product. It's the same for every single page in the website, but it has major details like who the founders are,
location, mission, what you're looking to create.
Yeah.
You know, tell us why we should care.
Basically, so how the brand started, so we'll call it the brand story, and then what the brand's actually about. So for us, it's this idea of having a third home. So we'll call that the brand concept. This reinforces that once again and reminds them why they're coming to the website, why they want to buy from this brand, beyond the fact that the product looks cool.
If you could do this, it's a pretty banging site.
Now you've seen how to create a website that converts, but if you don't market your garments properly leading up to a release, it'll all fall apart. So watch this next video where Casper and I show you what to post before your next clothing drop so you don't have unsold stock collecting dust.